shall employ every device we know in our desire to divert you. Something familiar, something peculiar, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Something appealing, something appalling, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Nothing with kings, nothing with crowns. Bring on the lovers, liars, and clowns. Old situation, new complications. Nothing portentous or polite. Tragedy tomorrow, comedy tonight.
All ready for a good show tonight? Okay, you're here for a very good final exam. I've listened to most of the acts. I think they're really great, so you all give them a good hand, every one of them. I want to introduce a former alumnus of the class. He's a great comedian, Randall Wilson.
That's Winston, because that's all right. Who's sick of satanic verses? Do you read? People ask me a lot of questions. There's three I want to get out of the way real quick. I'm 6'6". I don't play basketball. And it's about to hit. Obviously, my name is not Snoopy, and the weather's fine up here. People are always trying to make assumptions. People walk up to me and say, do you like rap music? Like we're supposed to bond or something. Thank you, that's so Afro-American of you. Or they'll be telling a story and they'll go, and then there was this, no offense, black guy. You know, they act like black people are such a big mystery. They've got a whole committee here trying to figure out how to get more of us to Springfest. What do you think they do? Sit around the table and go, oh, you think we should sell ribs? Part of the problem is, in America, people are afraid to say the word black. I heard somebody describing me, they go, you know Randy, he's that tall guy, he's tall, he's black. Like it's a dirty word, you know? People from other countries don't have a problem saying it. I was uptown dancing with this, no offense, white girl. This guy came up to us and said, black people dance better than white people. So I guess they put Soul Train on the Discovery Channel. Cable TV, you can find anything. I mean, I love television. They used to have those great after-school specials, you know, Scott Baio versus Rodin or something like that. And the commercials, you know, they've got that one for Cadbury eggs where the rabbits up there, good way to confuse the children. I hate that commercial, Wrigley Spearmint? I got your pure chewing satisfaction. Television for the 90s. I'm glad it's 1989, you know, kinder, gentler nation, and watched the inauguration. The news, after the balls and parties and everything, the newscaster came on and said, and tonight, the president's inaugural balls. Barbara was waving, you know. Now that it's been genetically proven that Dan Quayle is Pat Sajak, I think they'll put a wheel in the White House, you know. Look at this beautiful country filled with social problems. Puzzles will be like, illiteracy? Let's see, I'll take the hole in the ozone, the destruction of the rainforest, and put the rest on a social welfare check. We really do have a beautiful country, though. I mean, I had the chance to drive out to California over the last break. The thing is, they're laid back. I mean, the morning news is like, hi, I'm Paul, and I'm Paula, and we're Traffic Jet Copter 107. The traffic's backed up on 405 today. We have an overturned school bus, 4 decapitated children, and a porta potty in the middle of the road. More news later. Yeah. Anybody out there have a boyfriend, girlfriend? Stag crowd. Yeah, well, I mean, I used to have a girlfriend. I don't anymore. We went through a real bad breakup. Maybe I should have slowed the car down before, you know. But ever since, my life has been like Fatal Attraction. My friends are like, dude, don't get a rabbit. You She was kind of weird though, you know. She liked to do 68s. That's you eat me and I owe you one. Now she's undergoing rigorous training, becoming a flight attendant. Those are my flight plans for '89. But you know, the thing is, people are sheltered around here. I mean, I was in Gloucester, and well, they have, what, half a dozen black people? And jumped out of the car to do a Chinese fire drill. The car next to us speeds off. Chinese fire drill, you think that's derogatory at all? We jump out of the car and run around like idiots? They should call it an Athens fire drill. Does this look familiar to anybody? Sporting the Ray-Bans, bomber jacket, blonde hair, walking in formation. It's the Pi Phi Air Corps. Hi, leader. We've got coffers at 9 o'clock. Being able to wear sunglasses because I wear contacts and can't see a thing without them. I was thinking about getting those light-colored contacts, you know, but I saw this black girl with light contacts. It was like a flashback from Kung Fu. Can I stop that? Is anybody living off campus? Am I the only one paying rent for a house built from paneling? Oh, great, I'll live off campus, you know, I can get off the meal plan, and then you end up eating ramen noodles and tuna fish. A diet like that, I'll never get to be an OU security guard. Now they're giving these fitness tests. Isn't it like giving drug testing at a Meigs County high school? All right, we've got a great show for you tonight. The first comedian is a national touring comedian from Columbus, Ohio. He is the bad boy of comedy, Mr. Robert Fleming.
Hey, I'm going to begin for Randall here. It's a great crowd. Did you guys pay extra to sit up here? Yeah. Sit up there? How much extra did you pay? What did you do? You're lying. You liar. You big lie. That's a lie. That's where you be glad you sat there, because I spit when I talk. That's great, though. It's like this mist comes out into the audience like Shamu at SeaWorld. It'll be a lot of fun. That's great. That's great. Oh, before I get started, I have a little one announcement. Rain and snow is a fact of life in Ohio, and it's no reason to drive like an asshole. 3 drops of rain. It's like, gee, Martha, looks like a little bit of rain. Well, you better lock up them brakes, Henry. What the hell's the matter with you? I love to drive. 65 on the highway now. You like that? 65 miles an hour? I don't know if I like that or not. I don't know. Because like when it was 55, I drove 65. And now that it's 65, I have to drive 75. I don't know if that's very safe, but I have to drive 75 miles per hour because nobody tells me how fast I can drive. I'm an American. I don't like to be told what to do. I think every real American secretly resents stop signs, don't you? Yeah, because it just says stop. It's this big command. No explanation, nothing. Should be like, please stop. No, wait, really, you should stop here. There's going to be some other cars going by. This would be a good place to stop. But they're never going to put any kind of explanation on stop signs because there is no explanation for the 4-way stop. Four-way stop, what the hell is that? City-imposed gridlock? And who gets to go first at a 4-way stop? The guy with the shittiest car. It's true. Sure. Now think about it. I'm in a VW, he's in a BMW. Now who cares more about what happens to their W? Yeah, look me in the eyes and guess how much insurance I have. Shouldn't drink and drive. Well, a designated driver. Well, you're all not drinking. Fuck it. I guess you're all designated drivers then, aren't you? Well, good for you. Shouldn't drink and drive. Don't do drugs and drive. This is real important. Because you can do drugs and actually drive. No, not like it's better for you or anything, you know, but like drunk drivers will get into accidents. Drug drivers will wreck on purpose. Well, dude, great view. Let's go there. No, I don't do drugs and drive. Not anymore. Well, I used to think, oh, I can handle it. I can do drugs and drive. Sure, no sweat. You know, it's not a good idea because some drugs will give you a feeling of energy and a sense of euphoria, whereas other drugs just make you fucking paranoid. Remember I was driving down 33 doing, 90 miles an hour, and I could swear to God I heard some kind of noise coming from my left rear tire. So I get out of the car to see what it was. Dawned on me almost immediately that I probably should have pulled over and stopped first. That sense of euphoria went away like that. Along with most of my skin. I don't know, sometimes I feel just like Charlie Brown. You know, like the other day my mom was asking me, wah wah wah, wah 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 wah. No ma'am, I'm not on drugs. Wah 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 wah. I don't know why my head looks like a basketball. You get a Charlie Brown, he's got to be basketball. It's always funnier when you explain it. So you guys are all in college then, huh? Is everyone in college here? That's great. I went to college, I did. I had to drop out. Couldn't find a parking space. I don't need that kind of pressure in my life. I was a psych major in college. Anyone ever study psych? Take psychology? Woo! Yeah, that's great. That's all cheer psychology. That's great. Do you like better? Dead brain, yeah. That's great. I studied Freud, Sigmund Freud. That was a winner. I love Freud. Freud was great. Freud made everything so simple. Everything that's longer than it is wide is a penis. Everything that's not a penis is your mother. Of course, my mother was kind of a tall, thin woman. She was a dick, too. My mother is a white woman. And, really? No, I mean it. Seriously, no, actually, she's not white. She's like beige and a little bit of pink. But my dad's a white guy, though. Boy, you look at my dad, you go, ooh, that guy is white. That's the whitest guy ever. That's just about as white can get. And you'd think that until you looked at his legs. Then there's a new kind of white. A whiter white. Whiter than white should be. And that white is only background for this jet black fucking hair that sticks straight out of his legs. It's not human hair. Oh, did I mention his legs were only this big around? My dad has the legs of a mosquito. So naturally wears Bermuda shorts all the time. Or like black socks with open-toed sandals. Do that? So he's like got black socks up to here, Bermuda shorts down here, and these white fucking knobby knees staring at him. He's like, come on kids, we're going to the beach. Yeah, you go ahead, Dad, I don't like the beach anymore, that's all right. I don't know, my parents were married. Marriage seems, is confusing me. TV marriages, wait, this is a bad TV marriage. TV commercials. They try to give you information to help you with your marriage. Information like, ooh, men and women don't perspire equally. Oh no, men perspire more. Like somebody had to tell me that. It's like me and a woman, who perspires more? Me. Who takes out the trash? Me. Who mows the lawn? Me. Who cleans out the gutters twice a goddamn year? Me. Damn right I sweat more, she's working my butt off. Like women care, your wife will never ever in her life say to you, oh honey, let me take out the trash, I know how bad that makes you sweat. This looks like a hot, sweaty, miserable task. This is no job for a man. You boys just relax and leave that driveway repaving to us woman folk. How many married people we have in the crowd? Married? Applaud. Real fucking enthusiastic. Let me say, so most of you are singles. Singles! I'm single now, man. I'm never getting married. I'm never getting married because and it was one final TV commercial that did it. Life insurance commercial. Have you seen this? Old couple sitting on the couch. Lady says, well, ever since Bob had his heart attack, I've been worried about what I'm gonna do after he's gone. What about poor fucking Bob? He's gonna be the dead guy. Wouldn't dream of taking out the trash for old Bob once in a while, would ya? Wouldn't let old Bob retire, now keep his ass at work buying that life insurance. Wouldn't dream of buying health insurance, keep the poor son of a bitch alive, would ya? Now, this is a fact. In this country, women live to be 78 years old. Men live to be 72. They outlive us and they do it on purpose. It's like, no, women don't outlive men. Women kill men. It's like when a woman says to you, I love you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. What she means is she wants to spend the rest of your life with you. Spend the rest of her life spending your money. It's just a theory. It's just a theory. Until a better one comes along, we'll leave it at that. I got a girlfriend now, she's great. She's terrific. We have sex all the time. She has an orgasm. I mean, I do. So I feel like I'm keeping up my bargain. And then she wants to put it on me like it's my fault she doesn't have an orgasm. And I know she does this. She doesn't say anything. But I know she thinks it. Because over here talking to her friend Nancy the other day, Nancy says, did you have sex with Robert last night? Yes. Well, did he give you an orgasm? No, he didn't give me one. I got a whole box of them. No, I'm serious, why she thinks guys are born with all these orgasms, and well, the real nice guys will give a few away. Hell, if that was true, I'd want to find the dumbasses giving away multiple orgasms. I figure they got more than me, or they're just wasting them. Hell, maybe they'll give me a couple orgasms. No, I don't mind having sex with a man, as long as he's not a faggot or anything. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I don't care if he's a faggot or not. No, it's a joke, it's a joke. I hate homos, I only fuck them to hurt them. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not joking, I'm not gay. I'm not. I blew this guy once, but I really needed the money. I'm kidding, I didn't need the money. Do I look like a disgusting pervert? I'm not perverted, really, I'm not. I'm a pelagic chick, fuck the hell out of me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding! You don't have to tie up a quadriplegic. See him a mile away, boy. I can't, I got a girlfriend, she says I'm a boring lover, I guess she's right. I was beaten off the other day. My hand fell asleep. I don't know, I can't do this singles stuff. The singles bottomless sex. You don't even care about is the other day. Well, it didn't really happen the other day. It happened long time ago. Okay, it never fucking it up. Get drunk in this bar, pick up this beautiful woman back to my place, make mad passionate love to her. Wake up the next morning, she had gained 500 pounds overnight. 500 pounds overnight. No, I'm serious. I went home with Whitney Houston. I woke up with Nell Carter. So, I keep thinking, what could she have swallowed with that kind of calorie? Never mind. No, I got kind of a thing for black women. It's kind of a little thing, but it's all theirs. I don't believe this bullshit about black men, though. No fucking way. Black men aren't bigger. Black women are smaller. Creates the illusion. Perspective thing. Hey, look, well, you guys have been a great crowd, and you got a kick-ass show ahead of you. So I'm going to turn it back over to Randall and say, I'm Robert Holmes. Thank you very much.
Of course, we do know the truth about that. All right, now we're going to start with Mel's Angels. The first comedian is Bob Nebel. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. He's sporting a Helitzer original from the Winter Collection. Bring on Bob Nebel.
Thank you. How's everybody doing this evening? Thank you. I'm a graduating senior in telecommunications. Thank you. Which means that I'll be entering the DeVry Truck Drivers Institute. Can't wait for my downshifting exam. Yeah, third. Woo! God. It's great, though, graduating. I'm going to earn these wonderful pieces of paper, you know? First piece of paper is going to say, you have graduated from Ohio University with a degree in telecommunications. Ooh-wee! Next piece of paper is going to say, your qualifications do not match those organization. We'll keep your resume on file and have a nice life. Yeah, thank you. God. I always wanted to be a dancer, ever since I was a little kid. But as I got older, through adolescence, I said, yeah, I don't want to wear tights. Hey, the last thing I need is people to stare at me and find out what religion I am. I have been here for 4 years, and there are some things that I'm never gonna miss. For instance, I'm never gonna miss listening to a drunken pie-fi at 3 in the morning in my neighbor's room singing to Bruce Springsteen. Oh, guys, do something about that. And I'm never gonna miss having to flush the toilet before I go to the bathroom. Oh, God. Hey, how many people are going to for break? Huh? I'm going to Florida, too. I'm flying United Airlines, which kind of sucks. United, we fly the friendly skies. I think it should be United, you fly the friendly skies. Alone. God, I figured out what United stands for, the acronym. Unsupported, neglected interiors that eventually destruct. I don't know if I could ever miss Athens, though, you know? How can anybody ever miss a place there that looks like Yoda? I wish Athens would get a Jewish mayor. You drive into town, and every single hill would be replaced with Mel's nose over here. Imagine if we had a gay mayor. You know, you drive into town, you do a double take at Elder Beerman's. It's no longer Elder Beerman's, it's Elder Queerman's. You go uptown, and the city hall has pink lace curtains in the window. There goes my gay politics grade. Maybe I won't graduate. Oh, man. How many people from Columbus? I got a good Columbus student. Columbus is a great city, though. They're growing. They're really improving. I guess they always went by that motto, try and try again. I think their mayor, though, took that motto a little too literally. Isn't that what he did in bed with a 13-year-old? How many people watch the television news over there in Parkersburg, West Virginia? Now, I don't want to offend any Todd Boucher fans out there. OU's 1978 geek. Jesus Christ. I guess station management over there is going to try to improve their newscasts by taking their newscasters, moving them one notch up higher on the food chain, by giving them something new, something different, something they've probably never even seen before. Teeth. I'm from Cleveland. Hear what happened with the Cleveland Browns football team lately? A couple of the players were caught in a prostitution ring. Hey, I'm proud of that, you know? I think Bernie should be proud of it too. I could tell anybody from out of town that the Cleveland Browns, my hometown football team, is the only team in the National Football League that fucks up on and off the field. Hey, listen, thank you, you've been great.
Next, we have an English lit major. His girlfriend told me he does it by the book, which I guess is better than doing it with a book. Bring on Ben Woodworth.
How you guys doing tonight? Well, I'm going to juggle these for you. Okay? And, here, wait a second. I got something for the front row here. Here you go. Band-Aid. And if, like, use them, just give them to that girl over there. It looks like she could use a new bra. Before I juggle these, I'd like to say hello to my friends in the audience. They're way back there. They know how well I juggle. These are great things here because they're real agribusiness sickles, and you can't get much any sharper than this. And look, Freddy Krueger's dick. I cut myself once while I was juggling these, and I was rushed to the hospital and everything, and then the doctor told me, he said, "You're lucky you didn't have anemia when that sickle fell." Well, one thing Mel did tell us, he told us, go out there and really kill him. Really cut him up. So this is just my guarantee of making you guys laugh. Okay, now I'm going to do a little juggling here. With Billy Hahn advertising the Kroger team. He only does that promotion so they won't join the MAC and beat the Bobcats. The first time I saw that commercial, though, I didn't recognize Billy because he wasn't like this. Don't you hate smart-ass fast food people? I went into Burger King the other day, and I ordered 2 large coffees. And the chick pulls a bucket out from underneath the counter and she goes, "Is this too large?" I try to get back at him. I went into Wendy's. I said, "How much is your coffee?" She said, "It's 50 cents a cup, but refills are free." I said, "Well, I'll take 2 refills." I like fast food. I went into Big Boy the other day and I ordered 2 hamburgers. A little while later, the waitress comes out with 1 hamburger under this arm and 1 hamburger under this arm. She comes out, she throws them on my plate. I said, "Why do you do that?" She goes, "To keep them warm." I said, "In that case, cancel my order for the hot dog." As a college kid, I'm always really low on money, and I always want to get laid. But I figured out a way to solve both of those problems. I went up to a girl in a bar the other night, and I bet her $5 I wouldn't fuck her. She goes, "You win," and hands me the money. I have a girlfriend. She's kind and sensitive and caring. Her name is Trixie. I know what you're saying. That's a hooker's name. Trixie, that's a hooker's name. Who would ever name their daughter that hooker's name? Well, she's a pie-fi. So it sort of fits, But, we were done, we were through making love one night, and I asked her, I said, "Trixie, why do you always close your eyes when we make love?" And she goes, "That's easy. I pretend I'm shopping." She said, "That's the only thing that makes me orgasmic." And then she had the nerve to ask me. She said, "Why do you always smoke after we have sex?" I said, "I don't know. I never looked." And then I asked her why she always rushes me while we're having sex. I said, "Trixie, you never want any foreplay or anything." I said, "I barely get to take off your Ray-Bans and your pie-fi sweatshirt." She said, "Well, with you, making love with you is like getting my teeth pulled. I want it out as quickly as possible." She said, "And with you, it's like a baby tooth." Do we have any pie-fis in the audience? No pie. See, they can't stand to pay a guy for a night of fun. Of course, you Fijis are used to it. I'm going to juggle these bowling balls. These are real bowling balls. They're real bowling balls. And this right here is a real small ball, okay? And I'd like to give this to the people in the front row, so in case I do drop this, you know, they can have a little protection. A fortune teller in Harlem. You know, people from Nelsonville still think black people hatch out of these. John Buford, eat your heart out. Maybe that's why he can't jump. This is why some guys limp. Oh man, this is getting cruel. Okay. No, Carter, eat your heart out. Yeah, this is the 14-pound bowling ball and the 10-pound bowling ball. They always do say the right is bigger than the left, right, girls? Okay, here we go.
Our next comedian is a non-traditional student, and that's to say this man is old. Please welcome Dave Smith.
How about this front room? It's a good place to come and get a cup of coffee, right? Are any of you out there drinking Jamaican? Good coffee, right? It's Folgers Crystals. The secret's out. Now you can get it in your room. And a cup of coffee, too. I like the commercials on TV. I like the one about the businessman in a three-piece suit that comes out and he's standing in front of a whole bunch of law books, looks really important, and he says, "Have you been injured at work? Have you been exposed to asbestos? Call Green, Beagle, Ketchum, and Tweedle, attorneys at law. It won't cost you anything. Our fees come from the defendant." Now, can you imagine yourself being charged with a capital crime and you can't afford to hire a lawyer, so they appoint you an attorney. And he comes in and he introduces himself. "Hi, I'm your attorney, Mr. Tweedle." At least if they'd have given you the Beagle, you'd have known it was a real lawyer, right? Snoopy's a lawyer. Love the commercials. I like the X-Lax commercial. It says you take it at night and it works while you sleep. But they assure you that you'll get relief in the morning. Right? But how about Alka-Seltzer? Relief is just a swallow away. Flop, flop, fizz, fizz. It's kind of hard to separate the Alka-Seltzer from the X-Lax. And then there's, how do you spell relief? R-O-L-A-I-D-S. That's good information. That's good information. If you're out with your girl and you have to excuse yourself, you can say, "Excuse me, honey, I have to take a Rolaids." That's cool. That doesn't offend anybody, right? Did you know that 80% of the doctors interviewed chose Bayer aspirin because it gives relief? But so does Advil and Nuprin It seems like everything gives relief. In fact, half of Athens County is on relief. Mel Helitzer was a professional baseball player. I don't know whether you knew that or not. Before he got into the advertising business, he was a professional baseball player. He played for the New York Yankees. He was a pitcher. And what kind of was he? He was a relief pitcher. He's still doing it. He's pitching relief and getting paid for it. There are other commercials that I enjoy. I like the one about where the bus driver's sitting there on the bus and the drunk gets on the bus and the bus driver says, "Hey buddy," he said, "you better put your token in," and the drunk says, "Oh, is that thing out again?" And then another guy gets on the bus and he's got kind of a pained expression on his face, and the bus driver whips a package out from underneath the seat and he said, "You need Preparation H." How do you know? And then there's the young lady that gets on the bus and she's got kind of a rejected look on her face. And he said, "What you need is FDS." My wife uses FDS and she smells great. It comes in 2 sizes. It comes in the handy-dandy purse size for emergencies. Then it comes in the heavy-duty backpack constant drip size for the real emergency bad cases. Isn't that gross? How did he know? Thank you. May you never need the Beagles and the Tweedles. May you always find relief when you need to, and may your nether regions always smell well.
Next up, we have a very, very funny guy. For those of you who read, he wrote the "Leave My Shoes On" in Monday's Post. Bring on Mr. Bryan Kokish.
Thank you, my large Afro-American friend. Right on, bro. Okay, how many people here would rather be drinking tonight? What a great idea to change a perfectly good bar like the front room into a coffee house. Kind of like faking orgasms during masturbation. Kind of self-defeating. I got an idea. Let's take them to Tiger Fitness where we can really drink. Okay, my name's Bryan Kokish. That's Kokish. It's Polish for help. There's a hog in my kitchen. And I'm the ass that writes the column that's in the Post every Monday. Now, I'm always getting letters for this, all kinds of letters, saying, asinine, stupid, sexist. Feel free to stop me at any moment, okay? And, well, I get these letters, but I've never gotten a letter asking me who I slept with to get my column. Well, that means one of 2 things. 1, they think no one's lame enough to sleep with me. Or 2, they already know that I slept with Chuck Ping. Well, no, it wasn't Chuck Ping, it was Dean Root. No, I don't know. It was dark. It was someone. But, I have no luck with women, so I decided to, well, I didn't decide to, actually. I thought about fraternity people here tonight.
Yeah.
Because fraternity people, they get, the guys, they get all the best looking sorority girls. Sorority coming from the Latin phrase, sororitas bimbus, meaning to line one's back for no reason. Hey, I only got 5 minutes, keep it on, okay? I only got 5 minutes. Okay, okay, now, I don't mean to say, sororities are sleazy or anything like that, because that would be redundant. What they do is go to their formal. Renting tuxes, getting drunk, going out to a farm and fucking some sheep. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We didn't rent the tuxes. But, the funny thing about fraternities is we have all kinds of fraternities. We have black fraternities, Jewish fraternities, all sorts of different white fraternities. I can never understand it. Like, I felt a guy, or I dealt a blow. into acronyms like Phi Alpha Gamma. That's Phi with an F. Figure it out. It wouldn't be great if we had a fraternity that I formed with themes like Man-Eater. And then the personals in the post for these things, it'd be like, Cosmo, I'm so psyched for form. Hugs and kisses, Claude. P.S. I'll be wearing pink chiffon. But yeah, you know, I think fraternities are great, you know, if you like that kind of thing. But I think they'd be, you know, a great way to meet the sorority girls. I got a question. What the fuck is a fuzzy? Is that like belly button lint? I don't know what the hell that is. But there's two reasons why I wouldn't join a fraternity, actually, in my quest for love. One, hazing. Climbing up a greased pole while my quote-unquote brother shoved eggs up my butt is no way to develop friendships that will last a lifetime. And two, paying money to live with several other horny men sounds a little too much like prison to me. For love, I decided, you know, to go solo, so to speak. And there's this one girl, you know, who was in one of my classes, and you know, she was everything I wanted in a woman. I mean, she had, you know, 2 ears, 2 eyes, a nose. She had teeth, at least 3 or 4 with a name for each one. And you know, I really liked her, but you know, our relationship was going on. I mean, I had no idea where we stood. You know, I hadn't gotten anywhere with her. You know, I had no idea where we stood as far as the relationship goes. So, you know, one night we were out and. She was like really pissing me off because she wasn't paying any attention to me. She was flirting up with other guys. So I took her aside. You know, I was pissed off. I was really angry. You know, I just grabbed her. I took her aside, and I said it. I uttered the C word. That one C word. You know what C word I'm talking about, don't you? Starts with a C and ends with an NT. Commitment. Totally threw her off guard. She was off guard, didn't know how to respond, and she just said, took me to the side, said something really pissed me off. She said, Bryan, can't we just be friends? Friends? I got enough goddamn friends. In fact, I'm thinking of getting rid of a few. So that was over pretty quick. And so I decided, you know, okay, fraternities aren't good, you know, getting people in my classes. I'm going to meet women the old-fashioned way. I'm going to go to the greenery and find the drunkest one. For about a month, and you know, I finally found a girl that I wanted to, you know, go out with, and so I invited her over to dinner, and I knew it was going to be a good night because she showed up, and you know, everything was moving so fast. I mean, she, you know, within minutes, I mean, she was all over me. You know, I had her clothes off, so I said, you know, come on, let's get off the kitchen floor, and you know, let's go say hi to my mom and dad. So, you know, after dinner, after I kicked my parents out, actually, we repaired to my room. Oh, I didn't know it was broken. I apologize for that. You're scum for laughing at it, too. So we get in my room, got a bottle of wine, you know, I'm all set. So I dim the lights. Such a smooth operator, yeah. Turn on the radio. I turn on Sunny 95. I mean, and that song from Dirty Dancing, She's Like the Wind, was on. And I'm wondering to myself, a girl who's like the wind? What does the wind do? It blows. So I left the song on, hoping she'd get some ideas. Now I was kind of nervous, you know, actually telling her what I really wanted, you know, my plans for the evening really were. So I was thinking, you know, the technical terms for sex and sexual organs and all this other stuff. I mean, it's like they're almost Shakespearean in the way they sound. They're all, you know, Latin-based, and they all sound so dignified. So I figured, you know, what the hell? I mean, I could just, you know, my plan was jump up with some sheets wrapped around me and kind of like, fellatio, fellatio, wherefore art thou fellatio? But it didn't come out that way. Instead, I came out sounding like Jerry Lewis. It was like, yeah! Needless to say, The Nutty Professor was her favorite movie, and it turned her on. So, she started pulling down my pants, got them down around my ankles, something like that. But then she looked at me and she just laughed. She said, "Who are you going to satisfy with that little thing?" I looked her right back in the eye and said, "Me." Thank you very much.
All right, have a good time? All right, guys, we got a California chick coming out here, the only girl in the class. She says she's trying to get used to Ohio weather and men that spit. Bring on Robyn Ballard.
I'm the only one up here who doesn't have a penis joke tonight. I'm sorry. Good evening and welcome to the weekly OU News. After months of plaguing students empty with faulty disk drives and erased programs, the computer virus at Ohio University has finally been contained. A huge celebration was recently thrown in its honor, as it was the first virus in OU's history that couldn't be traced directly back to the Pi-Phi house. Many students were disappointed to learn that tomorrow will be the last day of business for Frisch's Big Boy restaurant. However, local ecologists were pleased with the news, hoping that the closing of the restaurant would help to revive the campus's diminishing squirrel population. Gonzo Smith, an OU senior, is reported in intensive care after an unidentified speeding vehicle hit him on the Richland Avenue Bridge, catapulting him into the Hocking. Smith reportedly broke both legs, 4 ribs, and a collarbone. He was rushed to the Hudson Health Center, where he was quickly treated with a throat culture. The Ohio State Health Department announced a plan today to close down 6 uptown bars due to the condition of their restrooms. A spokesman for the department began stating that the restrooms were, quote, unsanitary to the point of spreading germs among patrons, a breeding ground for disease, and knock most customers over with the smell of human body odor. He later apologized when he realized he had accidentally read the Oasis restaurant report. 2 OU freshman girls were arrested last weekend at the Nickelodeon for presenting the doorman with fake IDs. Said the doorman, "It was a stench of Love's Baby Soft and watermelon bubblegum that tipped me off." The owner of the Nickelodeon concluded by stating, "It's a damn shame. They were 2 of my best customers and kept the business alive just by the money they pumped into the condom machine." Trying to beat the winter blahs, an OU student recently resorted to taking out a personal ad in the Post. In the ad, he specifically requested a female with a high-pitched laugh, a Lands End jacket, big hair, aviator glasses, and a bomber jacket. The Post was astounded to announce that so far he's received over 11,000 replies. With spring break only a few days away, most OU students will be taking off to sunny vacation spots or at least to a quiet week with their families. But for those not able to leave Athens for the holidays, Athens Travel has devised a package tailored especially for the local traveler. For only $20, the White Trash Vacation Special will whisk its patrons into the foothills of Athens, where they'll stay in an abandoned shack without plumbing or electricity, stocked with ample cans of corned beef hash, boxes of grits, and a Krakow ghetto blaster with warp tapes of Boxcar Willie. The vacation package is the brainchild of travel agent Bud Phillips, who stated, "Screw Florida, it's time these little shits got a taste of the real world." Turning to sports, the OU basketball team stole the show today, in addition to 4 pairs of Nike sneakers and 2 copies of Space Invaders. And now a look at the weather. Tomorrow, look for cloudy skies early in the morning with highs in the 70s, By noon, we'll have freezing drizzle, followed by severe ice showers and temperatures in the low teens. After accumulating 6 inches of snow, we can expect temperatures to rise to the low 90s by late evening, with the humidity at 87%. And now to wrap up tonight's program, we've come to our weekly commentary entitled, I'm Right, You're Wrong. I'd like to welcome Mr. Bryan Kokish here, who'll be serving as my opponent. Tonight's topic will be a lighthearted discussion on the pros and cons of California versus those of Ohio. As you can see by the way he's dressed, Bryan will be defending Ohio. California has everything. Sunshine, fresh air, agriculture.
Oh, to live in the land of fruits and nuts.
People here don't date half as much as we do.
That's because we only choose from one sex.
Yeah, well, Bryan, we don't count first cousins.
You guys have to learn how to surf by the time you're 14.
Yeah, well, you're learning how to change birds.
Hey, at least we know how to earn an honest dollar.
I didn't realize minimum wage had gone up that high here.
You're an airhead, bitch.
You're an asshole hick.
I'm right.
You're wrong. Good night.
Again for Robyn Ballard. All right, our next comedian is from Cleveland, and he's proud of it. Bring on Jim Fleming.
Hi, all. I'm from Cleveland, yeah, that's right. That's up north in Cuyahoga County. Cuyahoga is an ancient Indian word meaning river burns. Specifically, I'm from a little white suburb on the west side, Bay Village. Thank you. The best way to describe Bay Village girls is to tell you that their daddies nicknamed them Princess, and they learn to believe it. But here we are in Athens, Ohio, the only place on the planet where Domino's gets your door before the fire department. Let's see, I was raised Catholic. Any Catholics here? Anybody used to be Catholic? Not a hard club to get out of. Let's see, I'm a graduating senior. I'm a political science major. I was going to be a history major, but I went to an advisor and he said with a degree in history, I could either teach or go on Jeopardy and try my luck, so. But I like being a senior. I got all the requirements out of the way and I can take the fun classes. Next quarter I'm taking a new class. It's a black philosophy class entitled What It Is. I got a new car recently. I drove it down from Cleveland, and I was wearing my seatbelt because it's the law. I don't know, I think the law is self-defeating. I wear my seatbelt all the time, and I drive, and I feel a lot safer, so I drive a lot faster. And coming down Route 33, I got a ticket for speeding. Gee, what a surprise. I should have known I was in trouble. The police officer said I could pay right there with my Visa and MasterCard. Should have seen that little sticker in the windshield he had. But I got the car down here, and a couple days afterwards I went to use it, and the damn thing wouldn't start. Turn the key, nothing. But I know what I'm doing, so I get out and pop the hood. Know what I'm looking for. I don't know, I check. I got air in the tires. Windshield wiper fluid. Tapes are in the glove compartment. The car still won't start. For when I look in that hood. You figure that maybe I'll open it up and see a giant on-off switch that happens to be off. So I go, oh, there's the problem. But let's talk about sex now. Laughing at sex, okay. You've heard about my life then. I haven't dated in ages. I don't know how to meet women. For some of you guys it's easy. You just go to these crowded bars and stand there. You're packed in like sardines and it's easy to meet a girl. It's like, well, our crotches have been rubbing together for an hour. I feel I should introduce myself. I don't know, the only sex life I can claim is accidentally walking in on my roommate. Excuse me! But, well, you know what they say about guys with big hands and big feet. And I'm here to tell you it's not true. I'm very upset about this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sex to me is more like a dog chasing a car. Even if he caught it, he wouldn't know what to do with it. But let's see what else. My problem is with women is I'm shy. I grew up in the 70s and everything changed from the beginning to the end. In the 70s we had subservient women. June Cleaver and Mrs. Cunningham on Happy Days. I mean, Dad would be an easy... Mom, dear, no. Give me a sandwich, no. Dear, no. Give me a soda, no. Dear, no. Never mind, no. Even at age 3, I'm like, I want one of those. Now I'm old enough to have one. There's none left. I don't know, we had Phil Donahue, Alan Alda, the sensitive male, ERA. I'm confused as hell now. Even if I do get a date, I don't know how to make a first move. I need a girl on the other end of the bed with a bullhorn going, yeah, some nookie would be nice. But I'm getting old now. I'm 22. Some of my friends are... But I come from the real world, so, I don't know, marriage to me is looking at somebody and saying, yeah, I think I could stand seeing you every day for the rest of my life and probably not kill you. I don't know, this is coming from the guy who hasn't had a relationship last more than 2 months. And the second, without having... You guys know that if you're fighting with a girl and she starts to cry, you do anything. The argument is over. You'll think from... I got it now.
Jim Fleming. But what it is a damn good class. Program for a report. Dr. Scott does.
Arsenio. To try little experiments as a crowd together. Now we decided to test the accuracy of lie detectors, and we figured, well, when does a person absolutely lie? When he's drunk. We had to get somebody stupid. We want to get a just and fall asleep. So we tried betas, okay? So we took him to detect his voice, you know, and every time he told a lie, it would sense it, throw it back to her. And I've got the transcript here. Now to test the accuracy of this, we will measure our results, okay? Now, these phrases begin with the guy at his, I guess you call them teas. I never had tea. And what you would do is, I'll read it off, tell me if it's a lie, okay? Number 1, I usually get laid at... Don't worry, freshmen can our beer. Oh, that's cool. Okay. See that girl, the AD pie, she's giving me the eye. She's not an ugly bitch. She's a fat bitch either. Good looking. I'm very good looking. I'm a sophomore. Next quarter I'll be a junior. I'm a junior. Next quarter I'll be a senior. Thing. I can handle tequila. A puke. I didn't puke. That's not my puke. Next phrase. I don't stink, but thanks for the polo anyway. No, babe, I didn't grab your ass. I don't care if you're her boyfriend, asshole, you don't scare me. I'm all right, that didn't hurt, help me get up. I really want to lay down for a second. Oh God, I'm never going to drink again. I'm not passed out, I'm just resting my eyes. I'm going to go uptown now and get laid. That's small one. Let's go to the greenery. I always get chicks there. The ID always gets me in. Ooh, okay. Of course, this is my ID. I had a deep tan when they took the picture. This ID is really mine. I had a perm when they took the picture. Yes, my name is Lorenzo Bryan. We didn't steal that one. Ooh, okay. I'm going to pick up that chick at the bar. Excuse me, you were last year's homecoming queen, weren't you? Yeah. Excuse me, I bet a friend a beer that you would dance with me. Excuse me, you have lovely hair. Oops, sorry dude. Sure is a beta, right? Okay. Let's get a burrito, let's get a burrito, I'll pay. Okay. Shit, I'm out of money. It's my birthday, can I have a free one? There is the 80 pie from the party and she's still not fat. Excuse me, you were homecoming queen, you. I was at the party, but I wasn't the one who puked. I wasn't in a fight. The cold air makes my nose bleed. So you're from Nelsonville? I like Nelsonville. I don't just like you for your body, I like your hair too. I can walk you back home, it's on my way. I want to stop for a second and get warm. You have a very nice room. No, actually, I like Care Bears. I like unicorns. I agree, the new Debbie Gibson album is hot. The lights hurt my eyes, can you turn them off? You don't have to if you don't want to, I respect you. He's an 80 pie, how can you respect? No, I'm not mad. I don't just have sex, I make love. I'll only put it in for a second. Don't worry, I don't have any Haitians in my family. Oops, I'm sorry about that. I usually last longer. Okay. Don't worry, as long as you take your pill, everything is all right. Then start taking it tomorrow and everything will be okay. Sorry about the mess. I like you a lot. What's your name? Ooh, okay. No, I think Blanche is a pretty name. I have to go. I have to study now. I don't have to write down your number. I've got it memorized. Sure, I'll call. I always do. Thank you very much.
All right, Scott Justice. Long Bottom, Ohio. Our next comedian, his nose is bigger than life. He's originally from Washington, D.C. Since Marty's been in Athens, he's been studying, partying, and changing diapers faster than a speeding nipple. Give him a big hand, Marty Stern.
Good evening. Hi, I'm Jewish. When I was only 8 days old, hurrah, hurrah. When I was only 8 days old, hurrah, hurrah. A man came in with a great big knife. I thought for sure he would take my life, but he only took a little bit off the top. Now, being in Athens and being Jewish is not very easy. One of the first weekends I was here, I decided I'd like to get some lox and bagels. So I went out to Super Duper and found the bagels, no problem. But the lox was a bit difficult. I went up to the manager and said, "Excuse me, do you have any lox?" I said, "Yes, aisle 4, hardware." Said, no, lox, OX, salty tasting, fishy, blonde streaks, OX, you know? Oh, Kyle, up here. The biggest feast of fish I've ever had. Too bad they kept falling off the bagels. Yeah. But all that happened last week when I was living in a dorm. I had to move out. I got sick and tired of Marty giving me that big lie. If you ever need help, don't worry. The OU police are just a phone call away. Call security. They'll be right in. That's why I moved out in security. What do you call 3 OU policemen talking together? Social security. Big Boys is closing. They used to do a lot better business when they had a statue of Big Boy out in front, but they had to take it down. Too many people kept confusing it with an OU security cop. Yeah. You know, Athens County, when you get out into the couple miles from here, it's a strange area. It really is. It's where the men are men and the women turn 14 in the maternity ward. For the 14th birthday, guys get a rusted out Vega with no muffler. And their wife get pregnant again. How do you tell who the groom is in an Athens County wedding? He's the one in a clean t-shirt. But there are some saving graces when you get around this area. First, they like science. They support the science industry. They support and want the metric system implemented. They want 10 beers to a 6-pack. Second, they're romantics. For anniversaries, they send each other flowers. She gets dandelions, he gets tobacco. And the occasion deserves Bush beer. Finally, they know their manners. They know when you're serving a meal, what gets served with what. They know poultry, light beer. Red meat, dark beer. Road Chills gets Jack Daniels. But Athens County can all be summed up in one word: prom. Because around here, a prom is really just another excuse for a 5-year Lamaze class reunion. Thank you, everybody.
Our next comedian is not a student at all. In fact, he's pushing middle age. Please bring on Dan Marhoover.
Yeah, I was in college once. That was a long time ago. I was a freshman in college when I turned 18. That was a big year for me. 1971, the last year of the draft. I had a big decision to make that year. Should I go ahead and join the military, or should I just wait and trust my luck to get a high draft number? I'll tell you, 18 years later, life is a lot easier. The only draft decision I make now is which one to drink. That same year, though, was pretty bad. I got my first gray hairs, and I really hated that. I pulled out every one I saw. The trouble was I was getting gray very quickly, and by the time I was 22, I looked like I had mange. So I had to try something else. So I thought, well, maybe I'll color my hair. Lots of people do it. But I didn't know which one to pick. I'd never looked at hair colors before. My girlfriend suggested loving care. Loving care, that sounded like condoms to me. Well, I did find one that's called Just for Men. But I thought, I don't know, I don't think I could trust that. Any product that says it's just for one sex has to have a bunch of lies behind it. Like Secret deodorant. What about that, guys? You ever want to try Secret just because they say just for women? Just for what's going to happen? We try it for a week and we start to talk a little differently, right? Yeah, full of lies. I can't believe any of them. No, I decided I would enjoy my gray hair, not worry about it anymore. I'd go on with my life and enjoy myself. So I sought out some new adventures, and I thought I'd try something that was a little threatening. I found some excitement in that. So I tried hunting rattlesnakes at the Shawnee State Forest. A lot of fun, some threats there. I tried whitewater rafting on the New River. Again, that was great. I joined a parachute club and tried skydiving once. By the time I was 29, I was prepared for the biggest threatening situation of my whole life. Yes, marriage. Thank you very much.
Next we have the youngest comedian in the class. Yeah, he's a sophomore, telecommunications major, hopes to take his degree, become the funniest cab driver in America. They teach that at DeVry too. Please welcome Richard Pryor's illegitimate son, Patrick Pryor.
Thank you. Yeah, like the man said, my name is Patrick Pryor. And I think my mother had a sadistic streak, because that's a terrible thing to do to a kid. And you say, well, what's so bad about that name? It's not the name, it's the initials. How would you like to go through grade school with the initials PP? It was terrible. I'd bring my lunch to school, I'd get on the bus, the kids would go, hey, what you got in the thermos there, PP? Hey, bus driver, there's some PP in seat number 1. I mean, not being an overly bright child, I would say, shut up before I get pissed. But, you know, I realized people weren't going to make fun of my initials for the rest of my life. You grow out of that about 4th or 5th grade until I was just getting over it, and I came to the startling realization that my middle name is Alan. And I started having nightmares. Hideous nightmares of me falling out of a tall building and going splat right on top of the first woman president of the United States. And I was remembered forever throughout history as the pap smear that killed the president. I really didn't understand what was going on when I was a kid because one time at a parent-teacher conference, I was listening in at the door, like we all did, and I hear the teacher say, I'm a little concerned about Patrick. He doesn't interact well with the other children. And my mother said, oh, don't worry, he's always been just a loner. And I thought, what happens when the real kid gets fixed and I'm repossessed? I didn't know what was going on back then. I guess I still don't, because there's so many things I just don't understand. Like menstruation. Is this God's joke to women or what? And I hear women, they complain, oh, you men, you just don't know what we go through. The cramps and the sickness. Every week, or every month, I mean. But we understand. We understand very well. Women, have you ever been playing football or soccer or anything and been hit with an object flying at you at 300 miles per hour in the nuts? No, you haven't. For obvious reasons, this is an exclusively male experience. When this happens, you will notice that the victim falls immediately to the ground in the fetal position. And he says very strange things, like, and every other male that witnesses this will go, ah! Out of respect. So women, don't tell me that we don't understand, because we do. I think it is you who don't understand, because That's a vulnerable area. And if you think about it, it's just right there, and we're the ones that got the short end of the stick. Figuratively speaking, of course. I mean, if you just only understood the incredible sensitivity of that area of the male body, you would not threaten to knee us there when you're angry with us. You would not laugh when you do happen to graze us there and we turn a cute little shade of green. I mean, don't even joke about it, because that's not a thing to be played with. Oops. Let me rephrase that. You might think it's funny, but no matter how hard it is, you just can't keep it up very long before the male, well, it's just not funny, okay? Change the subject a little bit. How many people here are on the meal plan? Isn't it wonderful? I mean, school spirit is great, but they take it a little too far. They consider green a flavor. I was eating the green soup one day and I saw a red spice, lo and behold. Turned out to be chipped fingernail polish. And maybe you know the answer to this. Do they have a guy that comes by and squirts the trays every 5 minutes so they're nice and wet when you get them? And we complain that we only get 5 chicken nuggets at a time. But there is valid reasoning for this. I mean, it takes time to reheat them after they pick them off the conveyor belt. But it's not totally, totally bad. They have convenience items like toasters that eat the food for you. It's not just the dining hall. This whole place is messed up. Hudson Health Center, have you been there? What a joke! I go in there, I'm sick, I go give my name, and I sit down in the main lobby for 45 minutes. The nurse calls my name and escorts me to the waiting room. So I'm there for 25 minutes reading, "So you have a cold." Eventually I get called in, the nurse says, "Strip down to your underwear." So I did, and she said, "Oh, you must be here for the sex therapy group." I said, "No, I don't feel well." She said, "Well, I'm going to have to test you for a hernia. Please turn your head and cough." And she got a serious look on her face when I did this. And I said, "What is it?" She goes, "Oh, it's nothing big." But, you really can't complain about the university being a little bit messed up because the whole state needs some help. Like, the drinking age is 21. Now, at 18, you're a legal adult in all facets of American society, but you can't drink a beer legally. Now, they're just encouraging law breaking. And you have to find creative ways around it. I was trying to get into a bar last weekend, and I showed the man my ID, and he says, "I can't let you in. You're too young. You missed the grandfather clause by 7 months." I said, "No, I made it by 2 months. I go by conception." Of bars, I'm due back in jail in about a half hour, so I've got to be running. Thank you very much.
Comedy class thing is a kind of an international event. Bruce is an exchange student from New Zealand, that's the way down under, and he's here from where the men are men and the sheep are nervous.
Oh yeah, g'day. Yeah, Bruce. I'm studying tractor technology and agricultural implement engineering over at Hocking Tech. Yeah, I'm from New Zealand, and I've been asked to come here and talk to all you blokes and blokesses a bit about my experiences here. No, it's really confusing for a foreigner here in this country. I mean, it's really tough. Well, when I first got here, they wanted me to do English, the test of English as a second language. I reckon there's nothing wrong with my English, so I didn't do it. Now I'm learning the second language, American. I hear it getting close to exam time around here. I did a couple of exams once, a while back in New Zealand. I don't like exams. The first one was a math exam. Well, I'm not very good with numbers. and I had a bit of a headache. But, you know, you do these things sometimes, hoping the multiple guess. Well, the first question ran something along the lines of calculate the compound interest of a 20-year mortgage by integrating a polynomial function within geometric representation of Pythagoras theorem using matrix theory. I didn't understand the nature of the question. I bet you did. Yeah? Yeah, freshman math. So, didn't understand the nature of the question. I decided to write an essay on my favourite subject. What I did on the weekend. Well, they gave me 25% for that one. I reckon I got the answer wrong, but they liked some of my reasoning. And then there was an English exam. Who of you here like English exams? I don't. I wasn't supposed to be doing it, but once you're in the room, they won't let you out again. Well, the first question ran somewhere along the lines of write an essay about the tragedy of Hamlet, comparing it with the Bill Cosby show. I didn't know who Bill Cosby was. So I wrote an essay about what I did on the weekend. It gave me 15% for that one. You know, I really get confused here. I had some real problems when I first came here and I wanted to relieve myself. I was busy looking for the toilets. Everything seemed to be labelled bathrooms. Gee, Americans are big on having baths. Then your fast food places. I mean, I go into Burger King occasionally for a coffee, and they say, here or to go? To go where, I ask. I don't understand. And then there are hamburgers. I mean, hamburgers are pretty popular here. Who here likes hamburgers? Yeah. I've never seen any ham on them. In New Zealand we have lamb burgers. And then I was going into Wendy's the other day and there was this sign on the door which said, no solicitation. Hey, there are children in these places. I mean, can't the ladies of pleasure solicit somewhere else? Then your roads. I mean, your roads nearly kill me. I keep looking in the wrong direction for the cars. You see, where I come from, the left side is the right side and the right side is the wrong side. Of course, in Ekatahuna, where I actually come from, you can drive your tractor anywhere. I was a bit confused too about your calendars. I mean, I arrived in September '88 and you had all these commercials for 1989 cars. I didn't understand. And boy, your drugstores, I mean, wow, they really caught me. I got a bit confused though. So I decided to try one out when I first came here. And didn't see any of the boys were brewing around, so I went in and took a look around. Pretty cunning, I reckon, disguising them as grocery stores or chemists. Anyway, I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I went up to the girl at the counter and looked her over and said, do you have any of that stuff, you know? And she said, what stuff? So I tried again. Do you have any of that stuff? You know, gives you a buzz, makes you feel better. She looked at me blankly, so I thought I'd have to be a little more direct. There was no one in the store, so I leaned over the counter and said, grass, Ohio weed. I had to talk slowly and loudly because I wasn't sure if she was a Mexican or something. You know how it is with these foreigners, you have to talk slowly and loudly. Well, her face brightened up a bit, she seemed to understand. And she said, oh yeah, you need to go down to Blazier's Flowers and Plants for that. Bit strange, I thought. Then there are your drug pushers. I mean, I didn't know that your drug pushers would actually be driving around in their vehicles advertising. You know, I see these cars going by with license plates saying DL on them. You know, we have concrete yachts down in New Zealand. I guess that's why we didn't win the America's Cup. And then there's shopping. I mean, I really got confused by the shopping here. You know, in New Zealand you have a look on the sides of your packets of food to see what preservatives are in them. Here you have a look on the side of your preservatives to see what food you have in them. Now the government here has a real interesting way of making you feel different. They call you non-resident aliens. Now, it kind of makes me feel like Alf. Witty, highly intelligent, cuddly, and obnoxious. I really got confused by the banking here too. You know, I was at Hocking Valley Bank, I saw the sign outside that said drive-through window, so I did. No, I was sitting up in the classroom at the Hocking Tech the other day, busy doodling in my book, thinking of sheep and other such things. And I decided I wanted to rub some of the stuff out. So I asked the bloke next to me if he had a rubber. Well, he looked at me strangely and said he didn't have one. So I asked the chick on the other side. She sort of went red and giggled. That's when I discovered I needed an eraser. I've since found out that you wear rubbers on your feet to keep your feet dry. Now, a guy did give me something with this rubbery, type texture, but it didn't seem to rub anything out. Wasn't much good as a balloon either. No, I really like living in Athens. It reminds me of that living in the big cities back home. Thank you, and good day.
Tractor anywhere too. That was David Newman. Good man. In comedy class, you do not have to perform the material that you write. So since you loved him before, I'm going to give you again the old man of comedy, Mr. David Smith.
That's the reason you're the stage man. I'm a born loser. When I was born, I came out backwards, and I've had bad luck ever since. For instance, I'm built backwards, my nose runs, and my feet smell. When I was a kid, I bought a kitten from the pet store, and I got it home, and it had died. 5 days ago. I was so depressed, I ran in and I threw myself on my bed and missed. Growing up didn't seem to help much. I grew up and became an adult, and I began to drink to an excess, so I joined Alcoholics Anonymous. They took one look at me and gave me a drink. I bought a car. I got in it to drive it home. Brand new car. Got in, it wouldn't start. And then I noticed a sticker on the windshield that said, "Batteries not included." So my neighbor's car died, and I took my car over and I hooked up the jumper cables, and he got into his car and he hit the key and my car quit. Moving right along. I went downtown to visit a house of ill repute, and they wouldn't let me in. I didn't have a quarter anyway. Bad luck seems to plague the family also. I took my daughter to a rock concert, and we were pretty late, and they still had tickets. They still had. Decaffeinated coffee keeps me up. Regular coffee keeps me up and going, and what I really need is a drink that keeps me up and coming. I took the family down to the Wayne National Forest to see the sights in the forest, and I saw a sign that said, "Deer crossing." But there wasn't any. And I went on down the road. And I saw another sign that said, "Railroad crossing." And I figured, well, they're not going to sucker me on that one, so I just kept on going. Took the front bumper right off. Went on down and saw another train, and I thought, I'm going to race this train to the crossing. So I did. Hit the 17th car. I entered a contest in a magazine and won a 2-week paid vacation, all expenses paid, to Nelsonville. And it put me in another income tax bracket. So I figured, well, the only thing I can do, maybe I can get an education and maybe a little religion in the process, so I took my girlfriend. Yeah, regress a little bit. I took my girlfriend down to Jimmy Swaggart Theological Seminary. He accepted her. So I applied at Oral Roberts University. I was accepted. Went all the way down there, and my earthly father called me home. He didn't get enough money for tuition. So I came to Ohio University. My father thought he had enough money for that, and then Dick Celeste sent me home. Thank you very much.
Dave Smith was material prepared by Richard Feeck. Alright, so there's this guy, and he's so in love with his wife, he has her name tattooed on his schlong. Her name's Wendy. And, you know, when he's Mr. Happy, you can see Wendy, but when he's not, you just see the W and the Y. So he's at the health club, and he sees this Rasta guy in the shower, and he notices he has a W and Y too. He says, well, you know, I couldn't help but notice you have a W and a Y, and mine's for my wife, who I love so much, Wendy. What does yours say? He says, well, man, mine says, welcome to Jamaica, have a nice day. Our next comedian. What can I say about him? Actor, artist, poet, he's full of himself. Please welcome Mr. David Hansen.
Hello, I'd like to talk about myself for a few minutes. I'm an acting major. In fact, oh jeez. Thank you. I live just a block from the theater here, and one night after a show, I figured, why bother? I'll just wear the makeup home, jump in the shower to wash it off. When you know, I got locked out. So there I am, standing outside my apartment, kabuki face. Couldn't get in, didn't want to go back. Went to a Hooley's, I fit right in. But speaking of showers, thank you. Speaking of showers, I had one the other day. It's kind of hard to believe. And I scraped off so much mud and scum that I found a pair of underwear I'd been missing for 3 months. You might be thinking gross, and you'd be right, but the babes dig me. They do. There was this girl. Beautiful young thing. Ran into me just earlier today here in the front room. She said, hey Dave, let's say we get it on between classes. Now, I'm not an idiot. See, I know the time between classes at Athens High is only 5 minutes. She was insulting my manhood. Remember when Wham broke up? Remember that? How they had to use a crowbar to get them apart? But, can I talk about ugly people for a while? Ugly people haven't got a clue what love is. Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I was at the Nick last weekend, right? And this ugly girl approaches me, right? And it took all of my energy and concentration to refuse her affections, which is something a more confident, attractive person could have done because they'd be used to it, right? I didn't used to be this stunning, believe me. Oh, they were playing Erotic City. Do you remember that song, Erotic City? That song. I'd completely forgotten how to dance to it, you know? I asked a friend of mine, and he said, well, just pretend like you're having sex. God, I've forgotten a lot of things lately. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had a lot of sex. I just don't look like it. I'll tell you one thing. Never sleep with an acting major. No, because afterwards they always critique your performance. Dave, you lacked motivation. Sorry, babe, I thought that was your part of the bargain. Well, c'est la brie, or as they say in France, that's cheese. What was I talking about? Ugly people. I was talking about ugly people. Now, ugly people will swarm at love no matter who gives it or what they look like, because they're desperate, right? See, I see pig number 1 and pig number 2 kissing and holding hands, and I know they only think they're in love. And in fact, they're the only two that'll have each other. I mean, sure, handsome people can be as insensitive and narrow-minded when it comes to choosing mates. I'm proof. But only someone with a clear-cut choice of plenty of babes, or significant others, can be trusted for choosing one for the right reason. And that girl the other night at the Nick, pig number 3. But, let me tell you, you know what the best kind of love is? Love of a mother. See, I didn't used to love my mother so much. In fact, when Dad was around, I barely spoke to her. She didn't interest me. Fun for me was tossing the ball around with Dad, or going to the game with Dad, throwing back suds with Dad, but no more. No, Dad's tossed his last ball, gone to his last game, and thrown his last sud. And that left me and Mom to cope, and that was kind of frightening, getting to know this woman who all my life had made my meals but never watched me eat, made my bed but never watched me sleep, mended my clothes but never watched me dress. All those years under the same roof with a being similar to Dad and me, but with no dick. Because I figured it was natural. I just thought Dad was protecting me from some horrible creature, when the truth was it was my father who was keeping me, his only son, from the love of his mother. But I have her love now. I have her love in a way which would be cheapened if I put it into words. But I'll try. We were walking in the park the other day. I was swinging a picnic basket, the contents of which were champagne, bread, and some chocolate spread. She strode on ahead of me and picked a daisy, put it in her hair, turned and gave me a seductive look. "Do you like it?" she asked. "Why, yes, I like it," I said. "I like it very much, Mother." And with that, she'd stride on down the lane. I'd follow with an unseen joy in my heart, spring in my stride and a rock in my pants. Later on, we'd eat the champagne and drink the bread and laugh and laugh. It was kismet. It was a naturalistic rapport. She'd felt my childish needs, and I'd felt her. Then later on, we might roll down the hills thick with grasses, or run down the lanes holding hands, or maybe she'd take off into the woods and lose me. I'd wander around for a little while, screaming, "Mother!" Lost. Often hours would pass and the sun would go down. A strange, violent freak with a black sack over his face would stalk me and overpower me and tie me to a tree and strip off my clothes and cover me with honey and then leave me for the rest of the night at the mercy of the ants and the bees and the big bears and chipmunks with sharp teeth. Maybe I'd be there for a couple of days, screaming until my throat bled, and then one day, one special day, my mother would return, and she'd untie me, and she'd cry over my wounded anatomy, and she'd take me home and bathe me and wrap me in towels and admit that it'd been her in the black sack who left me there to die, and she'd laugh, and I'd laugh, and I'd love her all the more. Well, wouldn't you? Thank you.
We all love your mother, Dave. Tonight, right here on this stage, you're going to meet Nelsonville's only Jew. 37-year-old balding man who digs Led Zeppelin, walks in the rain, and what else does he love? And showers in the nude. Mr. David Zlatkind.
What the fuck am I doing here? Our professor for the class, Mel Helitzer, said, go easy on profanity. You don't want to go for cheap laughs. I just got one thing to say. Mel, you're a dickhead. No, the real reason why I'm here tonight is I want to be like Eddie Murphy. I want to be funny, rich, and black. I want to be funny because that can make you very rich. And I want to be rich because that can make me very happy. And I want to be black, well, let me just put it this way. I got this little Jewish puppet. Does anybody know what a puppet is? It's this little Jewish dick. But I want a big dick. You see? Because in our culture, big dicks are in. Yeah, they're into a lot of things I like to do. So being the only Jew in Nelsonville, this little puppet, I've had limited experience, so I'm going to conduct some research here tonight. I just want to raise your hands if you agree with these statements. Okay, the first one. Black guys have bigger dicks. I know it's hard for you white guys to answer that. Hey, but I was on the track team, come on. All right, next one. Penis size does not matter to women. What's your name? I noticed you didn't raise your hand. So what the hell are you doing with him? Oh, but I tell you, you wonder about these couples that you see. Like Billy Joel, Christy Brinkley. I mean, come on. He looks like a little fucking ugly little bulldog. And here's Christy Brinkley, right? She didn't marry him for the money. She must have made millions of dollars modeling. What's she doing with Billy? He's got to have a big dick. And John Tower, he's been in the news a lot lately. They've accused him of drinking too much and being a womanizer. Come on. He's got to have a big dick. George Bush is in the John at the White House and pissing. He's standing there pissing and he looks and John Tower is standing next to him. He looks and he can't believe John's got a huge fucking dick. He can't take his eyes off it, He says, John, I'm not a fag or anything. How the hell did you get such a big dick? John says, well, boss, it's like this. When I get home at night, I whip it out, whap it upside the bedpost a few times. Makes it grow. George says, oh, no shit. I'll keep this in mind. So George works late at the White House. And he goes home, goes in the bedroom, Barbara's already in a bed asleep. Figures out what the fuck. Pulls it out. Barbara wakes up, she says, is that you, John? If I couldn't be black, though, I'd want to be Italian. Any Italians out here? they're proud of their dicks, man. Because they're always holding them. I got an Italian friend named Tony, and he's a jock too, so he's like a double problem. So like in public, just with one hand, but like at home with his friends. So I picture my friend Tony and these different jobs that he might have. Like here's Tony the waiter. So you want meat sauce or meatballs with that? Tony the car salesman. So you kids gonna buy this fucking car or what? Tony the teacher. Turn to page 21 and shut the fuck up. Oh, but I'm not going to dick around all night. I got a job. I work at a place that's crammed full of 800 people in one building. It's smelly, noisy, dangerous, and not one of these people even has a high school diploma. I'm a guidance counselor. I mold young minds. Oh God, all the problems I gotta deal with. God, you know, the abuse, the sex, the drugs and alcohol. And that's just with the teachers. Oh, and these high school kids today, they're so fucking dumb. This kid comes up to me in the hallway the other day and says, Mr. Z, you shaved off your beard. I said, no, Sean. A couple days ago, it started growing backwards. Even as I'm talking to you right now, my mouth's full of hair. Oh, gross, gross. So I get bored with them, you know, and so I fuck with them. No. Johnny, I got the results from your vocational aptitude battery. Yeah, I see you got high scores in the social area, in the business area, and you've indicated on here that a high starting salary and prestige are important to you. You ever thought about being a fucking pimp? Thank you very much.
All right, David, back there. Our next comedian has soiled his trousers 3 times since the show began. So give a big hand, or at least a handy wipe, to Jeff Hawk.
Take that four times. Are you having fun? Wait till the second half of the class comes out. They're great. Well, as usual, I've come to an exam totally unprepared. Lucky for me, some of the guys had the material laying out back there, so I got to do a little bit of cramming, but it's going to be kind of rough. Bear with me. I'd just like to clear up a couple of things right up front here. I'm not a basketball player, and it's about down to here. Boy, some of these I only had time to kind of memorize the punchlines, so I hit the 17th car, Freddy Krueger's dick, a rock in my pants. Anybody experiencing deja vu right now? Deja vu right now? Is anybody graduating this year? Okay. Me too, I'm graduating this spring, finally. But I've decided not to get a job. I just haven't had... Folks are real pissed off. I've just decided that I've had bad luck with jobs in the past, so I'm not going to get a job. For instance, I used to work at Kmart. Well, I worked there one day. I was working in the back of the store, and I hear this, Jeff, This is God. No, I know. Don't work anymore. No, I heard it. Jeff, we need a price check on Tampax. He said Tampax. I heard thumbtacks. I went back to check the price of thumbtacks. I came back, I said, hello, this is Jeff. With your price check? Did you want the kind that you put in with your fingers, or the kind you have to use a hammer with? I used to be a landscape foreman once. The boots, you know. I still like to dress the part. It was a great career. Lasted 2 years. I was a foreman, and I had a West Virginian working under me. But, okay, he wasn't actually West Virginian. He was half West Virginian, half French, which means he was arrogant as hell and still dumb as a rock. And he always bragged of being a great lover, but only with animals and selected family members. I used to get really frustrated with this guy. And I used to get really frustrated. We'd be working and I'd say, Delbert, why don't you just go fuck a duck? And he'd say, what again? One day we were working and we were digging ditches. And he goes, Jeff, I got a headache. And I said, well, Delbert, go up to the truck, there's some aspirin there, take some aspirin. The truck was about 20 feet away. He made it to the truck. 3 hours later, he found his way back to where we were working. We started working again. I get a tap on the shoulder. Jeff, I feel dizzy. Delbert, did you take the aspirin? Yeah, I took one. Well, I think you need to take 2 for it to be effective. And he says, there was only 1 bottle in there. I used to work out at the Sportsman. Has anybody been out to the Sportsman? Yeah, not while I was out there because you wouldn't be going back. I was the worst waiter in the world. The worst waiter. I would bring the meals out and serve the meals. The customers always would cover up when I goofed up. They always made sure that the meals got to the right tables. I don't know. They were great people. Great people. I'm gonna really miss the learning experience that I get here at Athens, Ohio, the expanding of the mind. I'm taking an abnormal psych class this quarter. What's so funny about that? And I'm flunking. That's even weirder. I don't understand. I'm taking an abnormal psych class, and I found out, we're studying phobias, I found out I have a couple of phobias. I found out that I have a sassophobia, which is the fear that President Bush will be assassinated and Dan Quayle will take over as president. And this comes in another form, which I also have. This is the fear that Dan Quayle will be shot in the head and that nobody will be able to tell the difference. I found out I have sex hendricophobia, which is the fear of having sex with the mayor. I have metal helitzer, which is the fear of metal sneezing on me. And I also have this extreme phobia called jelly belly phobia, which is the fear of being crushed by an OU security officer. I've got a dry mouth. I've got a wet mouth. But I like going to classes. They're a lot of fun. The only problem is sometimes I have trouble staying awake. Does anybody have trouble staying awake in classes? The only way I can stay awake in classes is to watch somebody else fall asleep. And I've noticed a couple of ways that people fall asleep. I want to share something because they're really hilarious. I've noticed that some people use the old back bob method. And then, of course, there's the front bob. And then there's people who can't make up their mind. Another popular one is the old 360. up right in the middle of this and they have a severe cramp in their neck. Oh, yeah. I'm getting a cramp in my neck. No, I wasn't sleeping. I'm working it out right now. I'm okay. I feel better. You don't want people to know that you're falling asleep, you know. The one that afflicts me the most is what I call heavy eyelid syndrome. This is when, right? You cannot keep your eyes open. No matter what you do, you can't keep your eyes open. I've tried a couple of tactics. I've tried the old eye prop with the hand, you know. I have to use my hands. Some more blessed people use other body parts to prop their eyes open. But that never works. I've also tried the focusing on something, you know. But I'm gonna focus on his button now. You love to watch the people's determination, you know. Their eyes are rolling all over the place. It's a riot. But the funniest one to watch for me, the one that cracks me up the most, is the jerk. Right? This is when you're just starting to nod off to sleep. Just starting to nod. Something in your subconscious says, wake up! Now again, and again, you don't want people to think that you fell asleep or anything like that. So you follow it by several other jerks, you know, while you're awake. So it's like this. No, I wasn't sleeping. I had a mild convulsion. I wasn't. Okay. Sometimes all these happen at once, and this is what really killed me. Okay, I'm fine. Can you imagine what this looks like to a professor? All these people out there? I mean, I give them credit for just staying up there teaching with a straight face. I can't keep one. I'm gonna miss Athens though. Nah. No, I'm gonna miss College Green. I love walking through College Green. Today I was really bummed out. I got my test grades back from my abnormal psych test, and I was bummed out. I was walking through College Green, and there were these two little squirrels frolicking and playing along, and I started watching them, and they picked up my spirits, and I was feeling better. They scurried across my feet and bound up the tree, and I started watching them. They were jumping from limb to limb, and all of a sudden one of them jumped for a limb and missed. And came down, boom, plummeting down, boom, right at my feet. Poor little redneck squirrel looked up in, he said, shit! Am I dead? Am I in squirrel heaven? Where are all the nuts at? Shit! I look up at his buddy's still up in the tree. I look up at his buddy. His buddy looks down to me and says, why the fuck didn't you catch him, boy? So I felt like shit again. But you guys are making me feel a lot better. Thanks a lot. We'll see you around. All right, Jeff Hawk.
The Helitzer Winter Collection. We do have one more special guest. He's an OU alum. You've seen him on TV. You've read about him in the magazines. Please welcome Mr. Troy Hammond.
Oh, great. This is great tonight. Wow, thank you. I was really worried, but I do notice I smell a few familiar faces here. Oh, wow. It's good to be here tonight. Almost didn't make it. I came down with Robert Holmes, the guy who started the show tonight, and he's been partying, so I was designated driver. Got pulled over on the way here. I guess it was easy for him to spot the car. Came out the left window going like this. Tires were bald on the right from curb rubbing. Cop pulled me out of the car and said, okay kid, where's the dog? Drug me out of the car, drew a chalk line on the ground and told me to find it, and I Oh God, it's just not safe anymore of you. Well, coming here tonight, I was really worried because, you know, for like the last 7 years that I've done these comedy class things for Mel, it's been, you know, the frontier room, beer, drinking, debauchery, things I can relate to. Then tonight they go, coffee house. Ooh. Guess you gave up bucket night, huh?